West Des Moines Dowling's Chris Coppola going for a state championship against an undefeated wrestler from Charles City, and this is Chad Vance.
Earlier in the year, they had a great match, and I'll talk about that in a little while.
Now the Dowling wrestlers in the purple on the left, the maroon I should say, and the Charles City wrestler in black with the white knee pads, Chad Vance, on the right. 2-2 and 2 the periods, 2 minutes each period. Referee is Tim Beyer of Greenfield.
In there.
Earlier this year, it was 17-13 in favor of Vance in the Charles City duels, and it was the key match. That 17-13 win was the match that really led Charles City to breaking that big dual meet string of Dowling.
That's right. That long string. Well, in the 1A, Chad Ryan of Underwood is wrestling for the title against Tom Davis of Ottawa, West Monona. And that's happening up on 1A. And in fact, what you're seeing is at 2A there. That's Corey Christensen, undefeated against Brian Puremeister of West Liberty. And Christensen has his man on his back, so we'll keep it up there just for a second and see what happens.
He's the defending state champion. His dad, Gary Christensen, is coach, and there's a pitter-patter of the heart right now in Coach Christensen's corner.
Our main match, of course, is Corey Christensen against Brian Puremeister, but we're watching this near fall up at number 2.
Get some shots, man.
Or rather, I should say Chris Coppola against Chad Vance. We're watching Christensen against Puremeister here in the corner.
Puremeister is able to get off his back. Big start for Christensen.
So that was a 5-point move. Now you're seeing Chris Coppola take a shot at Chad Vance's leg.
And look at that length again. That length is going to keep, it's going to save Vance from getting taken down, and he was able to reach back with all that length. That was a nice shot by Coppola, but to no avail.
Reach back, keep his hips in it, and maintain the position. 2-0 is no score here. 0-0.
Going green.
There's a whistle against Chad Vance. The official, Tim Beyer, says you need to be working a little harder here, Mr. Vance. Next time that might happen, it would be a point against, be a point for Coppola in the maroon on the left.
Last year, Chris Coppola qualified, but did not place at 130 pounds for Dowling in the state tournament. Chad Vance also did for Charles City. 23 pins for Chad Vance. 36-0 record. And that 23 pins is a school record for Charles City. Talk about another great tradition. Charles City up against a great tradition, Des Moines Dowling.
Red deferred.
That's the end of the first period. Coppola deferred. Dan Pavlovich is telling Chad Vance, giving him an idea about what he wants him to do. When he gets his choice, he takes it down.
You're here. Yeah.
There he is.
That dual meet victory by Charles City earlier this year ended a 134 dual meet string. 134 straight wins by Dowling.
Come back to the center again. Just use 6 seconds there. That's Coppola.
Of course, Chris Coppola's coach is Ron Gray, the longtime assistant who wrestled at Dowling under Bob Dara and then was his assistant and now has taken over, and they've won 3 straight championships going into this year.
Vance has a whizzer in there, and he's going to be out here in just a second, I suspect. Oh, here comes Coppola to lock up the bear hug, and that going chest to chest saved the position for him. He felt confident in there, so when they went out of bounds, they were still in the same position they had when they started, and no score either way. Coppola in the position of advantage. Tight waist. Vance is able to stand, but he hasn't been able to get out. We're in the second period, 25 seconds gone.
Speaking of Ron Gray, the coach of Dowling, it's always neat to see a former wrestler at a school come back as their coach. And Ron Gray was Dowling's first collegiate All-American, and now he's back at his school. And we see that every once in a while, Doug. And
Shoe tie time for Coppola.
Yourself set.
Dan Pavlovich, Charles City head coach, he's the host of the All-Star meet. Does a nice job up there every year, Charles City, and they ought to be commended for the hosting job they do for the state All-Star meet for the last several years. A lot of volunteer help goes into it. They got a great booster club, and they do a fine job in Charles City.
No score here. We're in the second period with 1 minute and 13 seconds to go. Vance sets up again on the mat. Tim Byer is going to blow the whistle, and here comes Coppola at him. 0-0. Here's a stalling call.
That's
the other way against Coppola.
Right. Now they both got warnings.
Now, in a 0-0 match, that's important. Because the next time somebody's called for inactivity, it's a point, and they haven't been able to get points in any other way yet.
For the ball, Red.
Dowling's Coppola in there strong.
Yeah.
You see the college wrestling series and maybe not see as much high school wrestling as you think.
There's Ron Gray. There's
Ron Gray
of Dowling.
You'll notice that there is no such thing as riding time in high school wrestling. You can be on top forever, and it doesn't get you points. You have to do something up there. Still no escapes, no takedowns. There's the first point of the match. Chad Vance is out with 42 seconds to go in the second period at 1:35. AAA live from Veterans Auditorium in Des Moines.
Coppola got here by having a big win over Jamal Fox from Waterloo West. There's Dan Pavlovich, Charles City head coach.
Pardon? We're neutral. Let's go.
Doing a nice job for the Comets. Assistant coach also for Charles City before he took over the head job. And then a Chad Vance.
Good shot there by Vance. But he was not able to score. Coppola had the position enough to turn it on him, face him up.
There's Vance trying to come around the way we saw earlier, length taking advantage of his stretch, and now all he had to do, yeah, nice job. He cut across a little bit and got the two.
He was out in the center of the mat. He knew he had position to work that move, and he took it patiently. With 10 seconds to go, he now leads 3-0 over Coppola of Dowling.
Going into the last period there.
3-1 now after the escape.
2 seconds, man.
They both know how to wrestle and win close matches. Here's the takedown right here. You can see he's posting the arm too, coming around, getting behind, now dropping down to the single leg, has the single, and you're going to see him cut across a little bit. There he's cutting across, has that low ankle right now. Nowhere for Coppola to go but down.
3-1.
Vance came into the championship match tonight with a overtime decision over Chad Stecker from Boone. He knows how to win close matches.
2 periods are gone. We have 2 minutes left to go. And the man in the under position, the bottom position, the referee's position here, Chris Coppola, has to make up 2 points against Chad Vance of Charles City. Nobody's beaten Vance this year. Two-on-one ride. You'll see him putting 2 hands on the same arm of Vance and controlling him that way, and the referee Tim Byer says use it. You don't just keep it, you use it. That's Vance. Coppola did not want to make a quick move. He sets himself up, and Vance brings him right back to the mat again, leading 3-1.
Look at, he's riding that wrist right there, using his length, going back into the leg area.
Stalling green, 1 red.
And what the referee is saying,
that's a point,
is that you're not trying to turn Coppola. He's telling Vance he's not trying to turn Coppola. You have the responsibility on top to not only ride, but to try to turn your opponent. And if in the judgment of the referee you aren't, you get called for stalling.
So with 1 minute and 15 seconds now, it's 3-2, and that man, Chris Coppola, has has a chance. If he can escape, he ties it. If he can reverse, he goes ahead. But he hasn't been able to escape here.
Well, he's up to his feet now, but he isn't able to get that hand control. Vance on him like a leech.
Chad Vance undefeated in 36 goes. Vance sets up again. This is Vance setting up on top. Coppola's on his feet, but let's see what he can do. Can he?
Going green. 1 red.
Now there is
3-3.
That's Chad Vance's penalty again. The official says that Vance was guilty of inactivity, and that now ties the score with penalties. 3-3 with 50 seconds to go. And if Coppola gets out, he's ahead.
On the mat.
I know the officials don't like to get in the match that much.
You're down.
Well, you know, as a young man right there, Chad Vance really is in a difficult situation because right now he could figure if he rides, there's Coach Pavlovich. He's trying to turn him, but if he rides, there's a good chance he's going to get called for stalling if he doesn't turn him, and that would lose the match.
Next time it'd be 2 points. Here's Coppola coming around for a reversal. He's got it. He has it. Coppola now comes from behind, leading 5-3 with 30 seconds to go.
Easy.
Out of bounds. 28 seconds here.
In 2A, Corey Christensen has won his second state title against Brian Furmeister from West Liberty.
See that reversal here. Good switch by Coppola. Came right out. So now Coppola's protecting the lead with 26 seconds to go. And a reversal for Vance.
Time. You're here. You're down.
And it's 5-5.
5-5 with 22 seconds left.
Boy, what do you do here? Vance?
What's wrong? You got set.
It's not 17-13, but it's just as exciting, Pat. I'll tell you, 5-5 in the state championship, 22 seconds left.
Time here for a second. They come back out to the center again with a 5-5 score. Now,
5-5.
the point here is that Vance
man.
is in the advantage position. He's on top. He can't just hang on or he loses the match by stalling, possibly.
But he can't let him go.
And he can't let him go or he loses because there isn't very much time to take him back down again.
No, he's got.
Let's see what happens.
Down the mat. Down the mat.
Let's see. 15 seconds. 14. 12.
We got to let the wrestlers decide this one right here.
6, 5. All right, it's looking more and more like overtime.
Yep.
Out of bounds with 1 second to go. And actually, the clock went to 0.
Overtime. 2 minutes, guys.
And let's call it.
There we go.
0. We're going to have an overtime. Chris Coppola against Chad Vance.
Those tuning in this year, they're used to 1 minute rest in between the overtime.
Okay, let's go.
We don't get it. We go right now.
Right here.
Yep.
Stay right in there. Get in there.
You got yourself ready to go 6 minutes. Now you go a little more. That's Vance of Charles City on the left.
Like I said, Vance advanced to the finals by winning in overtime last night in the semifinals.
Good overtime. 3A at 135 pounds. Out of bounds. It's the only match still going in the 135-pound class. As you might expect in overtime. Vance's low single failed, and now Coppola's in on the single leg. Can he score? He does. He wins the title.
He wins it. Dowling wins it. Turns around a loss earlier in the year. Coach Gray, a happy camper.
Let's go, guys.
An overtime victory on a takedown by Chris Coppola. 7-5 over Chad Vance. That spoils Vance's undefeated season, and Coppola wins the state title. Here are the awards now. Let's take a look first at what happened.
Single leg right in here. Dowling has it in real tight. Just drives, keeps his head right there, driving forward, gets the 2 points.
Happy camper, I'll tell you. Now we're going to show repeating. Now 3A at the same weight, 135.
Presenting the 3A 135-pound Coach Ron Gray of West Des Moines Dowling. 6th place, John Schieffer, Iowa City City High. 5th place, Doug Budarf, Webster City. 4th place, Chad Stecker, Boone. 3rd place, Jamal Fox, Waterloo West. Runner-up, Chad Vance, Charles City. 135-pound 3A champion from West Des Moines Dowling, Chris Coppola.
Congratulations to Chris Coppola. Long tradition at Dowling. And here's Dean Borg with a floor report.
Brian Follman of Anita was leading 2-0 after a takedown in the first period, but he was